I am. Okay, yeah, just past this last little crossroads before the blood moon. Spent that time up on the mountain. Um, yeah, you know. Um, so on the way down, never mind. I just decided to make a video. I'll leave it at that. A little chilly out here. Okay, I'm not really sure what I'll call this. I guess we'll see. But I just kind of want to expand a little bit on I guess like the computer concept. When you look at everything as a computer, because really the human body is nothing but a computer. The universe ain't nothing really but a computer. At least to be able to, to be able to interface with yourself, you have to build some type of platform. And that's the computer. So you can't really experience yourself without, an operating system and a power supply. And at least, that's how you created it. So, well, that's how the creator created it. So yeah, I guess maybe, hopefully this will help some people out, thinking about, how this shit works. Alright, where to start? I'll start here. Okay, so, I don't know if you're familiar, and it's funny too, because everything that goes on, I guess, is speaking about myself in life, is always, I don't really, even up until this day, sometimes I go through an experience and I don't really know how significant it was until after I get out of that experience and I'm able to reflect. And now, since stuff's moving so fast, I look at stuff when I was like 12, 13 years old, and I see how significant that shit is now. But let's just say this: when I did attend, some, so-called college courses, it was about building computers. And I used to be, when I was younger, my thing I like to play games on the computer, so it held my attention, to try to like build a nice computer and all like that. So I was able to gain that knowledge. So now, when I get, these type of updates or anything like that, it's easy to explain it in those terms because it's all the same. So whether you're familiar or you're not familiar, when you're building a computer, there's a few, basic components that you gotta have. And I was kind of go through a few of those and relate that to your experience, so that hopefully you'll be able to see what's, get more perspective on what's really going on out here. Alright, so your solar plexus, it's like you can build a whole computer, but if you don't have nothing powering it, it's not gonna do nothing. It's gonna be dead. There's nothing. So your solar plexus is like the soul. It's like your power supply. So yeah, it's like the power supply, and I guess you could say it's like, you have a motherboard too, where everything connects in. So you could say that's like kind of like the dimension you're operating on, but everything changes. So it's like you're hooking everything in, but in that sense it's kind of hard to relate it, but sort of. It's sort of like the motherboard is just the plane that you're operating on. And in that plane, you got the power supply that hooks up. That's like your solar plexus that hooks everything up so you can power everything. And you got and you also need like a central processing unit, something where all the information, everything that computer's doing, that's like the brain of the computer, where everything gets processed, all the information. Because if you don't have nothing processing the information, making sense of the information, it's all just a bunch of random. You don't have no perspective. You can't identify something if you can't rationalize it somehow. So it's like your brain is like your CPU, but like the next level of that, as far as this dimension and how all this works, is your pineal gland. Your pineal gland is what all the information will be processed through, and and it also serves as being able to project. I guess all of it really does that, but to be able to project the image for you. But it goes through the pineal gland, so it processes all the information, and then it projects it for you so you can experience it, so you can learn about it, so you can try to interpret the information and decide what you want to do with it. That's the whole computer. The computer is, you go on, it's like you can go on Google, you do whatever you want to do, get the information, but then you decide what you want to do with it as the user. And the user is yourself. Yourself is the user. So and you also have, and then you have a hard drive. Your hard drive is like your subconscious. Your hard drive is like all the information that you've ever accumulated is on your hard drive. But you're not always seeing all the information. The information you're normally seeing is what is called the RAM, the random access memory. It's like, you know, like the more RAM you have, the more stuff you can do at once type thing. It's like you can have a certain amount of, you know, applications open if you have a certain amount of RAM. So the more RAM you have, the more you can do. So the RAM is like your conscious mind, and then a little bit like the first couple layers of your subconscious mind, and it all just kind of rotates in that. It's like that's why you keep on going through the same cycles, is because what the beast does, the beast knows all this. So what the beast does is he tries to flood your RAM so you never access your hard drive. Because if he's constantly giving you pop-ups and he's constantly doing stuff, it's like it's like you have so many windows open and so many applications open, so you're always doing something. It's like you're always looking at some food, or you're always looking at, you know, some entertainment, or you're always looking at this. It's like he's always giving you something, some new, like hey, come check out this new application, da 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 da, and you're like, oh, I want to check out the new application. So he plays you every single time. You're always clicking on something, clicking on something, clicking on something. So you're never actually, you're never just sitting on your desktop not doing nothing, because that's just bored. You're just like, you've been programmed to think that's boring. But when you're on your desktop, then you can actually start to think, and you can be like, you know, I wonder what, and you don't have no perspective on time, but let's just say, you know, I forgot what I was doing like 20 years ago on this computer. Let me go down here, go on the hard drive, look at all the old shit that I've been using. And it's like you've been programmed as a human to believe that the new shit is the best. The so-called new shit is the best. But really, it's the old shit. It's the shit that you were using 20,000 years ago that's better than the shit that is today. Or, I mean, I guess it depends on you. Depends on you. But old and new is all the same shit. So he plays you with time. He plays the fuck out of you with time. So you think that the new shit is the new shit, so it's good, it must be the best, and there's no point at looking at the old shit anymore. When really, and I kind of use this reference, it's like, so he develops all these applications for you. It's like he knows he used to be a creator being, but he fell. So it's like creators like took his power supply. So it's like he's still a computer, but he has no access to, it's like, you know, you have Windows, and like every so often, like new viruses come out, new antiviruses, like they give you updates. It's like they give you like these, you know, they give you these updates, and it helps your computer run smoother. He doesn't have no access to those updates no more. So he has to try to steal the updates from you. He has to try to get the information from you. So that's why he needs you, because you're his direct connect. So it's like he knows kind of how to write the code. So it's like it's like the teacher came in the room, took his power supply, took his Wi-Fi connection, took all of his shit, but he's sitting next to you looking at your computer. It's like you're still all hooked up with your power supply, and you got your Wi-Fi connection, all like that. It's like you got a direct connect. Some of us got a direct connect. So it's like he'll be picking up your screen, like he's like, let me see your screen, let me see your screen, let me see your... No, that's what he tries to do. He tries to look at your computer, and then he might, if you're weak, he might even go over your computer and like start tapping on your computer. It's like, no, don't do that, do this, and try to get you to go over here. It's like I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. Some of you may be, but not. But when I was a young kid, a lot of people, I never really played this game. I played World of Warcraft. I did play that, but I never really played that RuneScape. But a lot of people played that RuneScape. So it's kind of like an older version of like World of Warcraft, kind of like the MMO type game where, you know, yada yada. It was pretty popular, so maybe you might know it. But let's just say it's like PS1 versus like PS5, PS4 type. We'll just say PS5, PS1 to PS5, like graphics and like, you know, intelligence and all like that. So basically, he developed this game called RuneScape, or he developed this system called RuneScape, which is like level 1. And as long as you keep playing the game, he's getting paid off you. So, but it's like the creator came out with a different game. It's like creator came out with a new World of Warcraft. It's like the new like PS5. Like it's like as long as you keep playing the PS1, he's good, he got you. But pretty soon, it's like if you keep playing the PS1 and everything is moving around you, it's like your friends like, hey, just keep playing this PS1, man. I got some games for you. Just keep playing. But the universes keep moving. The universe stopped making PS1 games a long time ago, and pretty soon you ain't even gonna be able to find a TV that you can hook up the AV cords. It's all gonna be HDMI or fiber optics or some shit like that. So if you keep fucking around with what he's telling you to do, because it's like he gets to a certain point, he can't comprehend a PS3, he can't comprehend a PS4, he can't comprehend a PS5. So he must stay at PS1, so he wants everybody else to stay at PS1 too. Or it's like he can't comprehend Windows 7, so he wants everyone to stay at Windows 97. It's like he only knows Windows 97, so he wants as many other computers around him on Windows 97 so he can manipulate all those computers. So, but the creator's constantly giving you this signal like, hey, here's your new update, hey, and every so often at the end of the cycle, it's like, boom, this time you get a whole new operating system. So now you're supposed to get a whole new operating system, and it's like you can't even play the new shit on the old operating system. It's like you gotta upgrade your hard drive, you gotta upgrade your power supply, you gotta upgrade your CPU and your memory, and you gotta upgrade all that stuff so you can play the new game so it'll run smooth. Because if you try to take like an old computer, run a new game, it probably, first of all, it probably won't even play. But if it did, it'll be all slow and buggy and laggy. You won't even be able to play it. So it's like you gotta upgrade your system so you can play the new game. Because all this is a game. But it's like the new game. It's like you know when the new shit comes out. It's like if you've only been playing Atari and then someone gives you a PS4, you be like, oh, this is sweet. I like this. But if you've always been playing PS5, it's like, man, this is nothing. That's why you go through these cycles. It's for contrast, so you can get better and better and better. That's why they don't just give you the PS5 at first, because you'll get bored easy. It's a process. So they give you Atari, you think, oh, this is cool, because you're comparing it to nothing. And then you get a Nintendo, you're like, oh, and you think that's cool because you're comparing it to Atari. Then you get PlayStation, it's like, oh, because it's a keep going up and up and up. But the people who, and down here it's like the company, I don't got a lot of time, but the companies that make these games, it's like the same companies making it, so they don't care if they want you to buy the next one. But picture a company that can only make one system. And the creator, it's like, let's say a company created like a smaller corporation and all they could do was make this game or make this one system, but then that main company cut off that smaller company because that smaller company was no longer following that company's rules. So they cut that company off, but all that company can, and now since that company don't have access to the information the bigger company had that let them make that system in the first place, all it has is that one system. So it's still trying to sell that system to everybody it can, but the other big company's still making the other systems, making the new systems. And you're supposed to keep up with the times and keep getting these new systems. But you still too busy looking at this one company because everybody else that you know is looking at that one company, because you got a perspective in the universe. You just one planet. And you think it's like, so you don't know nothing. The only way to do it is to exit all those little applications and come back to 0 point, come back to your source code, come back to your source. Like, wake up. And it's like you watch somebody like Muji or something like that. That's like an instructional video on how to, it's like, you know, if something messed up on your computer, it's like you might go on Google and look at a YouTube video on how to fix it. That's the universe trying to give you some information on how to fix something. Like the 13th Sun, that's a manifestation of the universe trying to give you a tutorial on how to get rid of all your viruses so that you can get the new, because it loves you. Like, that's really what's going on. People, I don't know, but it's like you're about to get flooded with a whole bunch of viruses. Like, all the viruses know that this is the time that you're about to be weak or strong. So they're going to come in. It's like the universe is trying to give you antivirus right now because they know there's about to be a flood of viruses. And these flood of viruses, they're going to try to come eat you alive. They're going to try to tear apart your whole system and just infect your whole system and run your whole system. Just like a parasite, a virus just try to puppet you. That's what I'm going to do. So the creator's trying to give you antivirus right now. I might come back and make another one. We'll see. But yeah, I hope that helped a little bit. Yeah.